Okay. Just kidding. Alright, guys. Let me get my screen up really quickly. And for those of you who are watching the replay, as always, we are going to wait for some people to hop in. But really quickly, before you skip forward, let me just let you guys know this. We are giving away 2 mentorship access to the mentorship program. We're giving away 2 of those in this video. We're going to start doing that once a week. We're going to give away 1 mentorship program a week to 1 lucky winner. Today we're going to kick it off with 2. But yeah, you'll get your first month for free, and then obviously after that the original rate goes in. But we're giving away 2 mentorship programs tonight. So it's not to the first 2 people. Sorry, peeps. I'm actually going to make sure you guys are paying attention today. We have a really cool... I need a haircut. We have a really cool video today. We're going to talk about the psychology of selling. So I'm going to give away these 2 coupons, really, for people to get in the mentorship program for free. I'm going to give away those 2 coupons to people who are engaged, people who are paying attention, and actually took, not some advice, but learned something. They actually paid attention enough to learn something and be able to repeat it back to me later. Because we're going to talk about, seriously, it's a topic that enough people ask me about. It's about selling. So landing customers, all of you guys want to understand how to land customers better. So that's what this content's going to be about. But again, if you guys are just hopping in, we're giving away 2 mentorship program courses tonight for free for your first month. So we're giving that away tonight. We're going to start doing that once a week tonight. Since we're launching it, we're giving away 2. But just wanted to let you guys know that if you're interested, you can get your first month for free. So outside of that, guys, we are going to be talking about the psychology of selling today. Alright, so we're going to be talking about some of the do's, don'ts, what people don't understand, why they get their sales pitch wrong when they go in, and what you guys might not have even been aware of to begin with. There's a lot of different aspects to the psychology of selling. Really, it's the psychology of understanding people and understanding how to make someone want, or what we'll talk about later is desire, a product. Because if they don't have a desire for it, then they're never going to buy it, right? You have to basically build that value in them and build that feeling of desire in them, so that way they feel that urge to purchase. It gives them that emotional pull to say, okay, I need to purchase that product. I need that product for this reason. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. Most people, what I want you guys to understand is most people think that selling is basically just about how badly someone wants a product. And that's the first thing you guys need to understand up front is selling having a great product is awesome. There's tons of great products out there, but if you don't know how to make it appeal to your audience, if you don't know how to sell that product, then it's never going to move. It's just going to sit on the shelves, right? So understand first and foremost that your product can be awesome. It can be the best product out there on the market, but if no one knows it exists, if you're not getting your message across clearly, if you're not showing people why and how that product is useful before they actually, go to make that purchasing decision, then they're never going to buy it. You have to give them the reason to buy. You have to build that desire inside of them. So let's talk about some of these points that I wrote down. So don't get me wrong, it has a lot to do with the product, like I said, but even the best products, they'll stay on the shelves if you don't do any marketing behind it. So did you know that there were actually some psychological triggers involved? All right, so let me see where we're at. Okay, basically it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 different points that I've written down that I want to go over with you guys that either affect the sale or have something to do with the actual process of you selling. So first and foremost, biggest thing, and the first 2 kind of relate, but the biggest thing is your fear of rejection or fear of failure, and then the second one is the self-confidence thing. So those 2, like I said, kind of go together. But fear of rejection, what most people don't understand is if you go in with a doubt in your mind, if you go into your proposal meeting and you don't 100% believe that you're able to get results, it's going to kind of leech off of you into those people. All right, so it comes down, selling is all about confidence. Understanding that with digital marketing, if you go into a business and they don't feel confident in your ability to get results for them because you don't seem confident in the product or service that you're selling, then they're not going to make that investment. Why would I make an investment in you if I can tell just by looking at you that you don't have confidence in your own product or to produce the result that you're saying that this product or service will provide, right? So the confidence is the biggest thing, guys. Really, when it comes down to these, the psychology behind selling, walking into the room, owning the space, taking control, all of these are factors that come into play when you're trying to land a new customer. So you have to walk in, you actually have to, smile, look like you know what you're talking about. Don't show up 30 minutes late, show up on time so you're not rushed. All of these things lead to you closing the deal, right? Everything that you do from the first time you talk to that business person to the time where you're closing the contract, you're making an impression the whole entire time. They say first impressions are the only ones that count. That's not true. Your first impression is something, but you have to continually keep building value in yourself and in your business. So just understand that, up front, here's some things you need to be aware of. You're going to fail eventually. So if you already know that you're going to fail at some point, it might not be at sales, it could be at something else in the business, but understand up front that you're going to fail at something. So it's about taking it and saying, okay, how do I learn from that experience and how do I move forward to help myself, do better the next time I try to approach this situation. All right, so just understand that, guys. You're going to fail. Walk into that failure with confidence. At least you failed confidently. If you didn't get the sale, at least you did it confidently. So at least they said, okay, well, even if we don't purchase from him now or her now, maybe it's something in the future we can consider, because at least they were confident about what they did, right? Maybe you were too high on price. Maybe the service didn't match up with what they were looking for. But what you need to understand is, did you actually go in there and pitch it confidently? Do they feel like you knew what you were talking about when you left that meeting? All right, so confidence, big thing. All right, so here's another big thing that you guys have to understand about the psychology side of it is, all right, people make purchases based on emotions, okay? And then they rationalize those purchases or decisions with logic. All right, so what does that mean? It means that basically if someone makes a purchasing decision, they're usually making it from some sort of emotion. Maybe they, a fear of loss, or they don't want to be upset. Okay, let's talk about your business owners. A business owner wouldn't want to be upset because they didn't spend on marketing and they didn't hit their budgets for that quarter, right? That's a fear of loss type thing. That's an emotional trigger. They're saying, well, I don't want to miss the opportunity to make money. I definitely don't want to know what it's like to, go bankrupt with my company. So I need to buy this service so that way I know that we're secure here and we're not going to lose the business, right? That's an emotional trigger, right? So they make that purchase based off of an emotion of some sort. It could be happy, it could be sad, it could be angry. There's some sort of emotion involved, and then they take that purchase that they made or that decision that they made and they rationalize it later with logic. What does that mean? That means emotion makes the decision. Logic comes in later after they've already purchased it, and they use that. They rationalize the reason why they made that decision with logic. Does that make sense to you? So here's what I'm trying to get. People, when they make a decision, should base a decision off of logic, not emotion, right? Logic means it makes logical sense. It makes perfect sense. It just fits, right? Whereas emotion, emotions, people don't like to make decisions when they're super upset or super angry about something, or even, too excited about something, right? It's because you're not going to make a good choice. 9 times out of 10, you're not going to make a good choice. But the most important thing that you have to understand is most people make those purchasing decisions out of emotion. It stems from some sort of emotion. So understand that, and you understand what you're trying to portray to the person you're trying to sell to. If you're trying to get them to understand, you want to paint the picture, right? That's one of the big things in sales that you'll hear is called painting the picture. You have to, almost make them visualize what it would be like if they didn't have your service. So What would be a downside of not having a marketing agency service? Well, they're not going to make as much money. So you would want to paint the picture of them, what it could look like if they're, now I'm not saying go out there and be like, oh, your business is going to go under this year, you're going to lose all your money and you're going to go bankrupt. I wouldn't recommend doing that. But what I'm saying is you want to make them see, your sales this year, Mr. Business Owner, if you don't bring on any sort of ad spend or anything like that, the likelihood of you staying at the budget, or not budget, but the revenue numbers that you're hitting right now is pretty likely, because of the fact that you're not actually going to do anything to increase the amount of traffic or the amount of people engaging with your brand, which means no new sales, right? So you have to understand, you have to paint it to them to where they can visualize what it's like to not have your service. But Mr. Business Owner, if you did purchase our service, or if you did get involved with some sort of social media marketing or social ads, even if it was on your own, and you did it the right way, you could increase your traffic by 20 to 30% just to your website, which is going to result in this much more sales per month, this much more sales per year, right? So it's all about painting the picture and understanding that people are going to rationalize that decision usually with an emotion, they're going to make the decision and it's going to stem from an emotion. They're going to rationalize it later with logic, okay? Meaning, again, emotion is what pulls the trigger. Logic is how they explain to themselves later, like, oh, that's why I purchased this. That's why it's good for me. Doesn't make sense, but that is how people react. So let me see. That was the third point. So just know that with regards to that last point, there's two different factors you want to be aware of, which is the desire for gain and then the fear of loss. They're really motivators behind this emotional trigger set, right? So the desire for gain, what is that? Well, what does this product bring me if I purchase it? What value does it add to me, to my life, to my business if I purchase it, right? The other side of that is fear of loss. What is it going to do if I don't purchase it? I could lose my business. I could not make enough this money and I'd have to fire an employee. What is the fear of loss that they might inhibit? Or is it the fact that, you won't be able to take on any more customers and there's no one else who does what you do, right? Something like that. Next bullet point I wanted to go over. So ask questions to understand their needs, then focus on convincing your prospect why yours is the best solution, all right? So what are the needs, right? Ask questions to understand their needs. Well, obviously things like, they need more sales, they need more leads, blah, blah, blah. But what are their actual needs? What is that person who's making that decision's needs, right? So that this could be things related to health, wealth, likability. These are basic human needs, right? And that's what I'm trying to talk about is not, the needs of their business, but the basic human needs that they need. Likability, acceptance, they need love, compassion, things like that, right? Every person, every human being needs that, right? So you're going to want to kind of cater or build your presentation, the conversation that you're having with this business owner to pull at those strings. You want, social media using Facebook will make your business more likable, things like that. Don't necessarily word it exactly like that, but that's what I'm trying to say. Using social media, builds a larger following and makes your social presence locally that much more likable because of the fact that you're doing things in a social arena, just building building the value in them via what their needs are from what they tell you. So that comes down to questions. Again, you have to ask the right questions. So that's what the whole point of this thing is, or this specific point is again, ask questions so that way you understand their needs. So focus on things like, Mr. Business Owner, how healthy is your business right now? Are you guys, making enough revenue to, make sure all the employees are covered, everything like that? Or is that the reason you guys are kind of looking for some external marketing? You need to up the amount of revenue you're bringing in so that way you can expand. Pull at the strings that mean something to them, and you'll actually figure out what it is about that customer or potential customer that makes them tick, which leads to you building a relationship with them, which leads to a sale, right? Super simple, guys. Spend time where it counts. All right. So this is a big thing. A lot of people spend time on like free campaigns for Facebook for like a week, and they have some sort of promise with them where at the end of the week they'll sign a contract. Well, here's the thing, guys. If you're doing that kind of meeting, it's not going to result in a good situation for either party, because in a week you're not going to really be able to do much. I'll put it to you like this: the first 2 to 6 weeks, anywhere in there depending on the size of business, is where I spend time just setting up the business. Like, that's it. We get content going, we get access to accounts, we create the marketing plan, we create the ad plan. There's all kinds of different steps that you take once you get a business started. So if you're doing something like that, you're not really spending your time where it matters. You should have maybe spent more time trying to find more qualified leads, which is going to result in an actual sale, right? All right, so how can you help yourself with this? Really, it comes down to qualifying questions. So let me talk about this really quickly, and this is something you guys can take to your first meeting. It's what I recommend you guys doing. But you kind of want to get the stuff that's important out of the way up front. So I kind of like to go ahead and, when I'm talking in the first meeting, one of the biggest things I say, but don't say this over the phone, so that'll be one of the next parts. I believe that I have that on there. Yeah, never talk about your product or price on the phone, say it face to face. But in person, you'll want to say, I just wanted to let you guys know my minimum budget per month is $1,000 per month. And that doesn't include any ad spend, anything like that. So I just wanted to get that out of the way. I know, that can seem kind of expensive. I wouldn't even go into that conversation with them. Don't tell them it even seems kind of expensive. You just want to say, I just want to let you guys know up front, I don't want to waste your time. That's really how you work. I don't want to waste your time. I don't want to waste my time, but my minimum rate is $1,000 per month. I know we spoke on the phone about, some of the exciting stuff we could do. I just wanted to, again, reassure you, how much I work for. I don't work for anything less than that. So if you're cool with that, then, I just want to check, you said 30 minutes for this meeting, right? So what did I do there? 2 things. Number 1, I laid out what our price was up front, right? So I kind of let them know, if you're not able to spend $1,000, say something now. So that way, your time's not wasted, my time's not wasted. We can both move on with our day, and we're both spending it, in the right place. Rapid, I'm talking. I see you. I'll get there in a second. All right. And this is why I didn't want to do that, because it threw me off what I'm saying. Oh, I asked them what they were doing up front, or I let them know how much my services are up front. So that was kind of more of a qualifying statement, but it saved me time, it saves them time. And I also said, the next point I made was, all right, cool. Just wanted to reassure or recheck with you, but we have about 30 minutes for this meeting, right? So I did 2 things there. I asked them, or I let them know how much my services were roughly. I didn't say, this is how much you're gonna have to spend, but I let them know, my minimum is $1,000 per month. So at least, if they're not interested there, they'll let you know. But the second thing I said was, are we cool to go for 30 minutes like you mentioned on the phone? So I'm making sure, again, that their time is, I'm reassuring them that to me, their time is valuable, and I want them to know that I think their time is valuable. So that's what that does. And it just puts another level of comfort, even if you end up going over that meeting. If you start to get towards the end of that 30 minutes and you're about to go over, if you're doing a good job and they're really interested, they're okay usually to go an extra 15, 20 minutes, sometimes even 30 minutes. So you'll want to talk to that person and say, if you're approaching that 30-minute mark where you're getting close, you just want to say, yeah, sure, Mr. Business Owner, by the way, I just wanted to stop. I know we're not really through my presentation yet. I still have, we're only really halfway, and I know I said it would only take 30 minutes, but, obviously you're really, I feel like you like what I'm talking about, and this kind of, vibes with what you're looking for. So I just wanted to make sure we're okay to go over, maybe another 15, 20 minutes. Is that going to bother you, or do we, need to reschedule, or maybe set a phone call to talk about the rest, whatever. I wouldn't recommend the phone call. That's a last resort type thing. But, if you have to come back and meet with that person again, that's not necessarily a bad thing. If they're willing to meet with you again because you didn't finish your proposal, it means they're probably interested. So follow up strong. But again, it's about asking those qualifying questions, making them feel valued, spending time where it counts. You have to put your time where it's going to matter. One of the things I'm working on with my agency now is getting out of the creating ads, building ad funnels, stuff like that, because it takes a lot of, if you guys have never built ad funnels before, doing that plus constant upkeep and management of those ad funnels is not, just something that's easy to do. It takes, and it's not that it's hard, it takes a lot of time and a lot of effort just to do that one thing. Then you have to think about the content creation, the scheduling, the planning behind all that, the video shooting, the writing, all of that stuff. Managing a business, there's tons you have to do, so you have to be able to manage your time properly. So that's one thing we're doing. We're focusing our time where it counts. So at this point, we're trying to hire as many people as we can for different jobs, so that way we know we're covered in all of our areas and I can go out and keep selling to new clients, right? So spend time where it counts. The next part, and it applies to your sale too. So I guess let me make this point clear. With the psychology of selling, spend time where it counts means if they're not interested in something you're talking about, move on. If they call you and they say, hey Jordan, we want you to come talk to us and pitch us about your Facebook marketing platform. If you go in there and you lead off with email marketing, you're doing it wrong, right? They called you about Facebook marketing. They want to see what you have about Facebook marketing. If you include other stuff, that's great. Leave it at the end. Maybe even as an upsell, something like that. But focus on the things that they care about. Spend time where it counts, right? That one thing can be applied so many different ways with regards to selling. The next thing, and I'm gonna do what it says. Keep it simple. Like, I talk about this all the time. Don't go over their head. Don't talk about the Facebook pixel. Don't go into things that they're not going to understand. Keep it on their level. Mention words that they'll understand. Mention statistics that matter to them, and you'll keep their attention. You start talking about the Facebook pixel, building email automations and retargeting audiences, you're going to lose them. Tell them what you can do. You can mention retargeting audiences, but you just want to say, we're literally just going to take everybody who's visited this web page and we're going to send them more ads. That's retargeting. Like, that's all you would want to do. So Rapid, I noticed you have a question. Go ahead and, that's the thing. You could have just typed your question in there. It's kind of a lag. So like where I'm talking now is about probably 10 seconds ahead of you seeing it. So just go ahead and type your question and I'll get to it when I can, take a break from what I wanted my talk to be about. But again, if you guys are just hopping in, we are giving away 2 mentorships at the end of this video. So if you're interested, stay tuned. We're going to be giving those out here in probably about 15 minutes. And we're giving them out every week. So you guys get excited. Monthly mentorships for free. What do you think about appointments over the phone? Don't ever do it. Logic, you never sell over the phone. You always sell in person. You don't mention price. You don't, talk a ton about your products over the phone. You do all of the selling in person, where it's personal, where you're in front of them, where they can't hide their emotions. Because that's the thing. If you're trying to sell over the phone, you lose that sense of what they're feeling, what they're doing, how they're reacting. When you're in person with them, you see everything that they're doing. So if you say Facebook ads are the best thing ever, and they're like, what does that reaction tell you? But if you say Facebook ads are the greatest thing ever and you're on the phone and they do that reaction, you have no idea what they just did. You didn't see anything. You probably didn't even hear anything because they probably moved the phone out of the way. Never sell over the phone. Exactly. That's all you're doing. You're selling the appointment. You're selling the value of that appointment. That's what, see, Kirby, that is exactly how you want to say it. You're selling the appointment. What does that mean? That means when you get on the phone with them to talk to them, you're trying to build value in them setting an appointment with you to meet with you the first time, right? So how do you do that? And honestly, Kirby, the first meeting, you're not even selling the product yet. You're getting them interested. You're building interest in it, but you're not even selling the product at that point. But over the phone, guys, if you guys are calling these business owners, you're not selling the product yet. You're literally like, okay, well, what can I give them out of this meeting? Well, if I give them, say, a 30-minute strategy session where I teach them how to get more leads with Facebook, do you think they'd find that valuable? Probably. So that's what you're selling. Cool. So, Mr. Business Owner, yeah, I just wanted to see, I actually wanted to come in. I was going to take 30 minutes to show you. I noticed you guys were running this ad on Facebook, and I just wanted to take 30 minutes to show you how you can get, better lead minutes with the ads that you're already currently running? Do you have 30 minutes where we could sit down? Something like, you're selling the appointment though. I wanted to talk with you about what I like to say is, we're not currently working with anybody in this industry yet, so you make them feel a little special. We really would like to work with someone of your caliber in your industry. I'd like to offer you a free 30-minute consultation. I normally don't do free consultations, but again, I'm trying to get a customer in this niche. I'd like to offer you a free 30-minute consultation. We can talk about marketing strategy and what you guys can be doing right this second. I'll even leave behind a document that you guys can take. It'll be a digital audit. It'll go over everything you guys can, improve yourselves for your marketing, for your marketing campaigns for your business. Build value in that appointment and then sell that appointment. Then once you get there, go over the audit, go over everything you've been through with their business, and then start to show, very small, not a ton, but start to give a little bit of value into how you can help them. We use Facebook marketing to do this for our customers. We use email marketing to do this for our customers. But again, keep it very high level. Where are you based and how much do you make per year with digital marketing for clients? How much do I make per year with digital marketing for clients? I make a good amount of money per year. I'm located in Atlanta. How much I make specifically, I really don't think is anybody's business. But yeah, I make a living. I make a good living with what I make. We'll just say that. And I'm in Atlanta. But yeah, I don't know. If you've never seen my videos before, I don't talk about how much I make. It's like, I don't throw a specific number out there, but yeah, that's just me. I have several clients that I'm working with. I have several different types of clients. I don't really know what else to say outside of that. Sell the product in person. About getting a new client, how many people do you reach out to a day? So I personally, at this point, I'm not reaching out to a ton of new people a day, just because that's not something that is worth my time right now. I'm at the point of scaling my school plus scaling my agency at the same time, so plus speaking events, things are definitely hectic. But I would say, if you're brand new to it, what I recommend to my students, what I recommend to people that are brand new to starting an agency, is anywhere from 30 to 40 a day. Because if you can reach about 200 to 300 businesses in a week, I guarantee you that you will land anywhere from 5 to 20 meetings out of that 300 people. Depending on how good you are at providing value over the phone and getting the right person on the phone, you should be able to get anywhere from 5 to 20 meetings out of a list of 300 businesses, though, if they're qualified. So that's the other thing. I don't reach out to businesses unless it's no, it's okay. Not a big deal, Rapid. I'm just like, I don't put my personal income out there like that. At least not the total number. You might get little pieces here and there, but I never put out the total number. That's just, I don't think that's anybody's business, no matter who you are. I wouldn't, if I was Ty Lopez, I wouldn't tell people how much I made. And he makes a crap ton. That's exactly why I wouldn't tell people how much I made. I don't know. I just don't think that's anybody else's business. And people I'm not going to name them. I'm sure you guys know who I'm talking about, the people who like to flash all their money and stuff like that. And then they have stuff backfire on them and their whole community turns on them. Yeah, no. I'm not going to do that to you guys. It's just not who I am. I've never been one to flash that stuff. So, but yeah, I would say at least 30 to 40 a day, Mike. That's my recommendation. If you're reaching out to 30 or 40 a day and you're qualifying them up front, then you shouldn't have any problem landing deals with new customers. So let me continue through this doc. If you guys have more questions, again, just feel free to leave them in there. Where were we at? Okay, understand that your prospect is having an internal conversation with themselves. So while you guys are selling, you have to understand that the person sitting across the table from you is sitting there, like you guys right now. If you haven't bought my course yet, you're probably asking questions internally about me. Who is this guy? Why should I listen to him? But, all that stuff, right? So you have to understand that your prospect is having that same type of question with themselves. So they're asking things like, what's in it for me? What does it cost? What will I gain? When will it happen? When will they see that gain? What guarantee can you offer them? All of these are questions that they're going to be asking internally, so you guys should be aware that they're questions that you want to answer for them, while it remains a rhetorical question. You don't want them to have to ask you this kind of stuff. Your proposal should kind of walk through those, little pieces of not pieces, but the questions that they're having in their head. Your proposal should basically walk through those questions with them, without them even having to ask the question. And then if you get towards the end, they can open up and ask you questions that you didn't answer. But your proposal in general should cover, why should they do it? What's in it for them, right? How much is, and again, this is the proposal, but eventually, how much does it cost? Now, you save that till the end, but you do eventually want to let them know how much it costs. You want to let them know what they stand to gain. If, obviously what's in it for them, is more of the, like more for the business. What will they gain? That could be the percentage increase in sales. It could be the amount of traffic they're going to receive. And this, again, is specifically with regards to digital marketing. But, you want to appeal to what's in it for them personally, and then you want to appeal to what's in it for their business. So does that make sense? Because people are selfish. They're all about, them. In a general sense, when someone's being sold, they want to see what's in it for them first. Then they want to see this is like prioritize. What's in it for them? Then what's it going to cost? Then what will they gain? What will their business gain? What will their business gain? When will it happen? Like, when will they see the results you're promising them? And then what are you guaranteeing, or what guarantee are you offering for everything that you just promised them, right? So like with my course, we guarantee that you'll learn digital marketing. We don't guarantee that you'll make $10,000 a month. I just talked with one of my very first students from a year ago. It's almost a year ago, actually. It's not actually. It's February, so February, March, April, May. So we're like 4 months away to being a year old with Serial Entrepreneur, because we started in May. So she's been with me for about 8 months, and she's now making $20,000 a month in revenue for her agency. So number one, not impossible. Derek, I know you guys have seen Derek before. Derek's, I'm pretty sure he's about to approach like $15,000 a month for his agency. And there's several other students that, they don't talk to me as, it's not that they don't like me, they just don't get involved with me as much, which is totally fine. They're busy running their businesses, but they, message me on occasion and say, hey, Jordan, I'm making this much now. Or, hey, we started doing this now with this new client. We're making this much from this one client. It happens all the time. I'm just letting you guys know, we don't have a guarantee. But we do have a guarantee that we don't have a guarantee of success. We have a guarantee that you will learn how to do digital marketing. So you always have to offer some sort of guarantee to them. And then we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on top of that. So it gives them that feeling of comfort. It lets them know that if the roof catches on fire, we're gonna be okay. It's not a big deal, because they're guaranteeing me something. Even if that guarantee has that fine print, there's still a guarantee of some sort. And I'm not saying be unethical about your fine print. What I am saying is that there is usually a fine print involved. So, all right, the 4 elements of selling strategically. So these are kind of some pointers that I wanted to go over with regards to your actual product and your customers, what you have to direct their attention to. All right, so the first thing out of the 4 elements of selling strategically, and this is actually from a book, what's his name, Matt Bishop, it's something like that. I'll look it up after this. But he actually came up with these 4 elements of selling strategically. It's from a book that I read a while ago. But the 4 elements are, number 1, specialize. All right, so what benefits does it offer? All right, what benefits does your product offer? Number 2, differentiate. How do you differentiate yourself from your competitors? What makes you stand out from your competitors? All right, so specialize. What benefits does your product offer versus the competitors and just in general? Number 2 is differentiate from your customers, or from your competitors. The third one is segment. All right, so you're going to engage customers who are naturally disposed to your product, meaning anybody who seems like they, just are naturally pulled to your product. For example, if you are targeting people who, don't know, watch basketball, and you're selling a product that is like the top 10 basketball replays of all time, and these are like basketball fanatics. You want to sell that product to basketball fanatics, right? So segment, basically understand who your niche customers are and sell as much as you can to them, because they're naturally dispositioned toward, or pre-positioned towards your product. I think that's how you'd say that. Pre-positioned towards your product, right? So segment yourself. So those are the first three. Then the final one, the fourth one, is concentrate. So outside of that, you concentrate on the prospects who are most likely to give you the highest return. So once you figure out who all those customers are, you have your segment of people that are naturally pulled to your product. That's great. But then you want to even concentrate further on the customers who are the most common or most likely to give you the highest return. And this return doesn't always have to be financial. For example, with one of my students, Kayla, one of the biggest returns, I don't have to necessarily upsell her every course. That's what people think, oh, okay, well, I just need to sell them more products. No, because a relationship with Kayla and building, helping her, see success with her agency adds value to my course. Why? Because I was able to basically mentor her to get to the point where she's at today. So that says something about my ability to coach someone to start an agency that's able to get to 6 figures. So that's what you guys have to understand is every return doesn't have to be financial for it to be valuable. All right, so concentrate on the prospects that are likely to give you the highest return, even if it isn't necessarily financial. If they can put your name out there to 10 million people tomorrow, that would be valuable, right? So that's what you have to focus on. The customers who are going to bring you the most value. If you have a new client that, they have one business that they want to start you on that's only worth $1,000, but they own 15 other businesses, and then you're battling between whether you should focus on that person or the business who's trying to offer you, one contract for $2,000 a month. If you're focusing short term on that contract that's only $2,000 a month versus the $1,000 a month plus potentially 15 other businesses, you're probably not prioritizing right? You're not concentrating on the prospects who are likely to give you the highest return for your business. So again, always think about these things as you approach a sale. Let me look at some of these. What conversion rate can I expect from 100 cold calls? Rapid, that's different per every single person, because your sales experience will be different from someone who's been selling for 50 years. And someone who's been selling for 50 years can probably work through objections a little bit better than you could. So, it just depends on the person. Me personally, I think if I were to make 100 phone calls, I could probably at least set at least 15 meetings. Not 15 meetings. Out of 10 cold calls, I could set probably about 10 meetings. I have about a 10% close rate on meetings from cold calling. Out of those 10 meetings, out of the 10 that I landed, if I actually went to 70%, so I went to 7 of them, out of those 7, I could probably close at least half of them. So, but that's different. Someone who doesn't understand digital marketing and someone who's, brand new to the game, you're going to have a harder time selling. Like, you just will. You're going to have to seriously learn the ins and outs of digital marketing. I've recently learned how, even with my course, it can be difficult for someone who's brand new to the game, because my little brother, actually, I just gave him my course. He wants to start working with my agency. So I told him that's fine, but you need to learn everything about digital marketing first. So he's going through the course, and we have, these calls once a week, or twice a week sometimes, depending on the week. But we have these calls where we go over everything he's been studying, and, he's coming to me with these questions that I know I go over in the course. But, if you've never seen it before, never worked with it hands-on, I can understand how it would be difficult to apply that information. So basically, the point I'm trying to make is, everyone learns at a different rate. Everyone builds their skill set at a different rate. So, conversion rate for cold calling, it's different for every person, for every industry, for every product you're trying to sell. It's always different. Do you ever go over qualifying businesses in the courses? So qualifying is something that I've done several times on YouTube, Kirby. So what I actually might do is take one of those videos from YouTube and just put it in the course. But qualifying really, again, and actually, no, I do talk about that because I even remember the specific example where I talk about restaurants. If you're going to go after restaurants, you should go after at least 2 or 3. Yeah, because my little brother just talked to me about that point. So, yes, I do go over qualifying businesses in the course. I know I also go over it on YouTube. So I'll see if I can find those videos that are on YouTube and get them added in the course too. Is there a common rebuttal you've come across pertaining to pricing or anything else? Yeah, there's the most common rebuttals are always I'm too busy, or it's too expensive, or I mean really those are the most common rebuttals right there. It's too expensive or I'm busy. Too expensive or I'm busy. So the I'm busy is just they're trying to blow you off. All right. Anytime that someone says they're too busy, that's an excuse. They're not actually too busy. Sorry, buddy. Hang on. 90% of the time, they're not too busy. They just are trying to blow you off, and if they tell you they're busy, then it makes it easy for them to blow you off, right? So 90% of the time when they tell you they're busy, it's just an excuse. So you need... Sorry, excuse me. Okay, I'm good. I had to get that one out. I kept, pushing it down. All right. So you need to kind of get them out of their element. You need to do something to break the ice that's going to get their attention. And that could happen in a multitude of ways. Oh, you're too busy. Is that because you've got too many customers, or you guys not have enough customers and you're trying to do all the marketing for it? That's a way to get in, through that question. But you have to find some way to I want to say refute, but I think that's the wrong word, to basically combat that excuse that they just gave you. All right. Let me see. And then, yeah, pricing. Someone's going to say it's too expensive. $5,000 is too expensive for me. Okay, that's fine, Mr. Business Owner. That's why I prepared this package as well. And you show them one at $2,500. Oh, that's too expensive for me. Oh, I totally understand, Mr. Business Owner. $2,500 can be a lot. That's why I put together this $1,500 package, and you sell them something, and if they say the $1,500 package is too much, well, can you do something for $500? No, I'm sorry, I just don't work for less than $1,000. All right. Let me get back to these things on this list really quick. I have 4 more points I want to cover. So never talk about your product or price on the phone. Always do it face-to-face. So that was something we mentioned earlier. Again, that face-to-face connection allows you to read their body language. It allows you to understand where the conversation is going. It allows you to understand, if you have their attention or if you don't. It allows you to not only that, but build the actual relationship. Building a relationship over the phone is hard. There's no face-to-face connection. All you hear is a voice. If you put that personal touch in, if you're in person, you're actually shaking hands with a person, it makes it real. Over the phone, it still doesn't seem real, but you come in person and you shake that person's hand, you meet with them, you give them a document to look over. This is more engaging, right? It's obviously more engaging. So you're going to get a better result out of that. And when you tell them your price, you're able to sit there in front of them and comfort them, as opposed to saying, it's $5,000 a month over the phone, and they're like, oh, okay, cool. We're going to take some time to think about this, and we'll call you back Monday next week. Sound good? All right, cool, bye. And then you never hear back from them. All right, so do it in person because you're able to read them better. You're able to overcome objections better. Let's see. Third to last point, catch their attention at the beginning. So your opening statement should be something that's pretty bold. It's, appealing. If I could tell you that I could get you 10,000 new visitors to your site using YouTube every single month, would that interest you? Obviously don't just say something that you can't back up, but say something that, number one, you can back up, and number two, is going to make them say, okay, well, do I need that service? Well, 10,000 new visitors would mean probably about $50,000 more in sales a month. Yeah, I could definitely use that. Do something in the beginning to catch their attention and to keep their attention, right? It's called the hook. Let me see. Make their time a priority. We mentioned that earlier. Always make sure to ask them, hey, yeah, are we still good for 30 minutes in this meeting? Or are we still good for an hour for this meeting? Blah, blah, blah. And then take control of the conversation. Again, guys, if they're the one running the meeting, if you're mimicking every body action that they portray. Like if they're sitting there and they go like this, and then 2 seconds later you're sitting there and you go like this, and then you see them cross their legs or put a leg up like this, and then 2 seconds later you're sitting like this doing this, and you're both going like this. That person's running you. They have control of that conversation. You're probably not going to sell them. All right, so you want them to be mimicking you. You want them to mimic your body language, your tone of voice. If you're sitting here super excited, you want them to be super excited too. If you're sitting here kind of upset like this, they're gonna be super, down like this too, because they're listening to you. They're mimicking you. If you're the one doing a good job, then you're the one who needs to control the conversation, move the conversation forward, and make them understand that you're the professional, right? When offering a free... Oh, so that was the last bullet point. So if you guys have any last questions, go ahead and throw them in here. I'm going to answer you guys' questions, and then we're going to give away the free stuff, because I have some free stuff for you guys if you're not in yet. When offering a free 30-minute consulting session to land an appointment, how technical should you get about the social media side, about what they can do to improve? Well, if you're giving a consultation and it's actually a training session where you're actually going over, what they can do specifically to increase their Facebook marketing, I still recommend keeping it simple. You can go a little bit more into the technical side of things, but you'll want to keep it super simple. So one thing that you can always do for a business owner is to show them how to target audiences on Facebook, how to create better audiences to send ads to, right? So you can go on there and show them something like that. But, again, keep it very, very basic. Keep it simple. Don't don't teach them about A/B testing and testing different copy for, to copy and creative, for 14 different ads, and running interest group testing and then taking that interest group and scaling it from... Don't seriously, you're going to confuse the ever-living bejesus out of them. Keep it high level. And teach them something, simple that they can apply to their campaign. So if, for example, you're going into a real estate agent and they tell you that they sell their average home from, $300,000 to $700,000, right? Which means that the average household income of a person buying one of their homes is probably anywhere from $100,000 to $350,000, right? All right, so if that's the case, and you go into their Facebook ads manager and you notice that they're targeting people 18 to 65 because that's the default, and they're targeting men and women, and they have no income level set whatsoever, but they're targeting people who are likely to move. That's great. They're targeting an audience that's related to what they're trying to do. But at the same time, they're targeting people who are anywhere from 18 to 65 and no specific income. So they're targeting people who make $25,000 a year, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, all the way up to $100,000. And then they're targeting people over that. So they're targeting people who are making millions, 2 million, 10 million, 20 million, when those aren't people who buy her product, right? So showing them something like that and explaining, look, Mr. Business Owner, here's where you're losing out on money. If you actually take this audience and you segment them down by people with this specific income, you can actually, get better results because you're not wasting your money on people who aren't ever going to buy your product, right? So teaching them something like that, giving them value there, is really where you want to spend your time in some sort of meeting like that. As far as meeting in person, how do you handle meetings that are far away, like out of state or even further? I do Google Hangout calls. TeamViewer is another cool platform. You can do Skype if you prefer Skype. But yeah, you do a lot of phone calls, and if you're going to do a sales meeting or if you're going to do a proposal, I strongly recommend a video call so you can get that personal touch. That's the best part about virtual, guys. This makes it like you guys see me. We're talking real live right now. Ooh, yeah. Okay, so you understand that you can ask me a question right now and I can get back to you right now. That's what this live meeting does. But you add the video component, you add the audio component, now it's like we're basically in the same room as each other, right? So that's the thing. If you're gonna do the long distance stuff, state to state, that type of stuff, that's fine, but you're gonna want to set up video calls and get that personal touch involved. If not, you need to fly out there or drive out there, something, to go meet that person eventually. If they never meet you, they're not gonna stay with you very long. Alright guys, so that is it for today. We're going to give away 2 mentorship programs, 2 mentorships Who wants a mentorship? If you want a mentorship, in the comments below, here's what I want to see. All right, so let's see who is paying attention. What was one of the 4 elements of selling strategically? There were 4 different elements of selling strategically. First 2 people that can say one of the 4 elements will get a free month to the marketing agency mentorship program with me. So that means you get to save $100 and you get in the course for free. I'm going to let you guys answer that question really quick, and I'm going to go grab the promo codes for those people. It's going to be funny. I told you guys. Y'all got to pay attention. I told them up front. 4 elements of selling strategically. Doom, 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 doom. Who likes the Price is Right and Jeopardy? Doom, doom. It's like a game show. All right, mimicking their actions. No. Oh, mimicking their actions. No, that's actually more of taking control of the conversation, which is not. There were 4 words that I gave you guys. All right. No pricing on the phone. That one was a harder one, I won't lie, because you have to have either been taught that before. All right. So I'm going to go over this again for you guys since y'all weren't paying attention, because y'all need to pay attention. Make sure you replay this video. I'm telling you, there's a lot of golden stuff on here for selling. All right, the 4 elements of selling strategically are, again, number 1, specialize. What benefits does it offer? All right. Number 2, differentiate yourself from your competitors. Number 3, segment yourself. All right, so you're going to want to segment your business and basically understand who your niche is. That's really the 3rd one. Segment means understand who your niche is. Who are the customers that are going to 100% without a doubt enjoy your product? And then the 4th one is going to be concentrate. So concentrating on the prospects who are most likely to give you the highest return for your products. All right, so we'll do this question again. I have a better one. All right, and if you guys don't understand this, then you missed the first part of the video, and for that, I'm sorry. But what is the biggest mistake that most people go into a meeting with? What is the biggest mistake that most people, they go into a sale and they make it up front, not up front, but they make it throughout the entire meeting. They just don't have this one characteristic or this one quality about them. They're scared of this one thing happening. What is that one thing that they're scared of happening? First 2 people to answer that one right are going to win the contest. Because I did pick a hard question. That was a deeper level one. Lowballing. Fabian, I think you missed the first part of the video, bud. Not lowballing. I'll tell you that right now. It's the biggest mistake that most entrepreneurs make with regards to selling their products, with regards to even picking up the phone and making the call. They think that this is going to happen as soon as they pick up the phone, and that's why they don't even start calling. All right? There's really 2 answers for this. I don't think you guys are getting the question. Oh, this is funny. Standing out from competitors. No, guys. That's not it. All right, think about this. What is the biggest mistake that, or not mistake, what is the biggest thing that prevents someone from selling successfully? All right, it is a lack of this in yourself. I basically just gave you the answer. Or a fear of this from potential prospects. A fear of this with your business. Robert won the first one. It's a lack of self-confidence. That's the first answer. There's another way that you can say it. And rejection. So Juan Morales, you win the second one. You said it. Yep. Fear of rejection. Yes. So a lack of confidence, guys. If you do not have confidence in yourself, you are not going to sell the product. All right. If you are scared of rejection, if you are scared of failure, you're going to fail with your business, period. You need to learn to accept failure, accept rejection, and understand, it's going to happen. So get over it and go through your sale. If you don't feel confident in the product, if you're driving to a meeting and you don't feel like you even have the confidence in yourself to go in there and pitch this proposal, then you probably don't need to go pitch that proposal. Or if you do, don't expect to come out of there with a sale. Say, okay, I'm going to use this as practice to do better the next time. But you guys have to understand, if you don't feel confident in the products you're going in there to sell, you're not going to sell them. I can guarantee you that. So, Juan and Robert, you guys are the winners for today's giveaway. Don't worry though, guys. We're going to be giving away monthly mentorship programs once a week, maybe once a month. I don't want to promise anything. We'll see how it goes. We're going to start with once a week though. So next week on Sunday, we're going to be giving away another mentorship program. Robert and Juan, you guys make sure to find my Facebook business page below in the description and send me a message on my Facebook business page. Again, business page. Don't mess this up. It's a free mentorship program, access to the course thingy. So do not send it to the group and do not send it to my personal page, Facebook business page. It's in the description below. First W of the day, giving value and rejection. Rejection, yes. Giving value, no. It's a lack of self-confidence, Augusta. But that was a good answer. You had it 50% of the way there. So congrats again to Juan and Robert. You guys were the first ones to answer. For everybody else, again, if you guys missed it, next week on Sunday for the live event, we're going to be giving away another mentorship program. But don't let that stop you, because if you need to get in now, you don't want to miss the episode coming up this week where we talk about closing customers. Last week's episode where we did a full in-depth conversation about pricing. And if you guys get in now, I'll even give you the pricing video. That's the thing. You guys don't get access to all of the past live videos. You have to be in to get access to those past live videos. So we just did one on pricing. If you guys want that pricing video, we'll even give you that if you hop in. Guess what though? If you want the mentorship program, you can get the first month for only $50. There is a promo code right below this video in the description. You'll see get 50% off the monthly mentorship program. Where does it say? Off the monthly mentorship program for your first month. You just have to click that link. The promo code is already entered in for you. So you can get $50 off right now. All right. I'm getting out of here, guys. I hope this video was super useful for you. If it was, throw a like on there, smash the like button so that way other people, other entrepreneurs, and other digital marketers can get the help that they need. Outside of that, guys, thank you so much for joining. As always, it's been super fun. If you are a first-time viewer, make sure you hit subscribe because we give away all kinds of free information and content on here. If you are a recurring viewer, then I love you guys even more because you guys are the reason why I do this and the reason why we're growing and able to reach more people now. So thank you guys so much. Thank you for sharing. Fabian, I will get you added to the course here soon. I know I did see your message. I'll make sure. Actually, Fabian, if you're still watching, email ted@serialentrepreneur.academy and let him know that you're trying to get into the group, and he'll get you in there. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate all of you guys hopping on and engaging with me, Serial Entrepreneur Jordan Steen. I will see you on the next episode. So until next time, Serial Entrepreneur out.